So I am just getting over being sick, but I'm not about to let that stop me from talking about Black Panther Wakanda Forever and that ending. So beware of spoilers, and let's go ahead and dive right into it. So, okay, there is a lot to talk about with this movie, and I mean a lot. A good portion of which I'll get to shortly, but I want to focus on the very end, and how it leads us directly into the mid-credits scene. And as I said, there are some major spoilers in this video. And while I know that some of you watch videos like this before you see the movie for whatever reason, this is one where I actually implore you to go watch the movie, because words alone cannot properly do justice to the weight that the final moments of this movie hold. Anyways, as the movie comes to a close, we see Shuri, apparently taking time away from being both the protector of Wakanda and its sovereign leader, visiting Nakia in Haiti. As she arrives, she says that she wants to do it by herself, before turning and walking off towards the ocean. On the beach, we see her standing by a fire and then placing her ceremonial white funeral garb in the flames, finally taking part in the tradition that her mother had tried to have her do earlier on in the film. The idea of this tradition is that by burning the funeral robes, the person was finally finished grieving over the death of a loved one. Obviously, this was meant to signify that she was ready to move on from the death of her brother T'Challa, which she had been struggling with for the entire movie. But it also seemed to have a much deeper symbolic meaning as well. Black Panther Wakanda Forever is very much a massive memorial to Chadwick Boseman, who passed away in 2020 due to complications related to the colon cancer that he was diagnosed with in 2016. Boseman kept his condition very private, with only a small handful of people outside of his family knowing about it at all, and those who did never really knew the full severity of his situation, much like how T'Challa hid his illness from those around him. Some really nice parallels there. The main crux of the movie hinges on the passing of T'Challa. Sure, the threat of war with Namor is the main conflict, but the entire thing is triggered by the death of the King of Wakanda. As if he didn't pass away, the nations of the world seemingly wouldn't have been as eager to start searching the oceans for vibranium. Thus, they would not have posed a threat to Wakanda, nor the rest of the surface world. Plus, Shuri's main character arc was focused on her coming to terms with his passing, as well as how she personally deals with being a scientist in a society with strong religious values and beliefs. But that's a whole other can of worms that I'm not really going to get into here. The point is that T'Challa, and therefore Chadwick Boseman, is all over this movie. And coming back to that scene on the beach, it very much felt like Shuri burning the funeral garb was also symbolic of the cast and crew celebrating Boseman's life as well. This whole movie was their ritual on the beach, further supported by the credits themselves featuring burning cloth as a backdrop as well, enhancing this potential symbolism. And that leads directly into the mid-credits scene, where we see Nakia approaching Shuri with a young boy, who she introduces as her son, Toussaint, who is then very shortly afterwards revealed to also be T'Challa's son, Prince T'Challa, son of King T'Challa. That's a lot of T'Challas. Now, there are two things that I want to talk about with this. To get this out of the way real quick, yes, there is precedence for T'Challa having a son in the comics, but it comes with a big ol' asterisk on it, like most things involving comics. That being that within the main Earth 616 continuity, the kid doesn't exist. He has a niece and a nephew and a whole lot of cousins, but no kids. However, on a few different Earths within the multiverse, there is one, specifically Azari T'Challa, who was the child of T'Challa and Storm from the X-Men. The second thing that I want to talk about in regards to the revelation that T'Challa has a son is the point of it all. Now, I'm sure that when many of you found out that there was a little kid Black Panther running around, your mind immediately went to the Young Avengers. We all know that Disney and Marvel have been not so subtly setting them up for quite a while, so it makes sense that you might think that. But here's the thing though, this kid is only like 6 years old, so unless we're gonna have another time skip, I don't think he's gonna be suiting up in vibranium anytime soon. Plus, if they did do that, then all of the characters that they have already set up for the Young Avengers wouldn't be so young anymore, which would kind of defeat the purpose. Instead, the point of this moment, if I had to wager, is hope. It was another part of the tribute to Chadwick Boseman and the character that he portrayed that so many of us loved. One that instead of being mournful, as so much of the rest of the film had been, was celebratory. Look at Shuri in this moment. For the first time in the entirety of this rather dark and honestly pretty bleak movie, the main character smiles. Like, actually, fully and genuinely smiles. In a sense, the existence of this boy gives T'Challa a way of having a future. A way for Shuri and Nakia and Okoye and all of us in the audience to still have T'Challa in our lives. Even if we never see this character again, we'll still know that he's out there. And to me, that's a great way for Disney, Marvel, and us to say goodbye with a smile. Hey there everybody, I'm John Algetz. I made this video and I want to know what you think. Have you seen Black Panther Wakanda Forever? What'd you think about it? Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, or go ahead and shoot me a response over on Twitter. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to Screen Rant for even more great videos just like this in the future.